Have you ever felt completely betrayed by the people who were supposed to love you the most? Imagine this. You're the favorite child. You have these incredible dreams and you get a fancy, colorful coat from your dad. Well, for a young man named Joseph, this was the start of a nightmare. His older brothers were so consumed by jealousy they couldn't even speak a kind word to him. One day they saw their chance. They grabbed him, stripped him of his beautiful coat and threw him into a dry pit, leaving him to die. But then they had another idea. Why not make a little money? So they sold their own brother into slavery. Just like that, Joseph was ripped from his home, his family, and his future, all for 20 pieces of silver. He was taken to Egypt, a foreign land, and sold again, this time to one of Pharaoh's high-ranking officials, a man named Potiphar. Now here's where the story could have ended, with Joseph a bitter, forgotten slave. But that's not what happened. Joseph was a hard worker, he was smart, and he had this unshakable integrity. Everything he touched seemed to prosper. Potiphar noticed and soon put Joseph in charge of his entire household. Things were finally looking up. But then disaster struck again. Potiphar's wife tried to seduce Joseph, and when he refused her, she flew into a rage and falsely accused him of assault. With no one to defend him, Joseph was thrown into prison. From the head of a household to a prisoner in a dungeon. It seemed like rock bottom. But even in the darkness of that prison, Joseph didn't give up. He continued to be trustworthy and capable, eventually being put in charge of the other prisoners. It was in prison that his gift for interpreting dreams returned. He correctly interpreted the dreams of 2 of Pharaoh's servants. And 2 years later, when Pharaoh himself was tormented by dreams no one could understand, the servant remembered the Hebrew boy in the dungeon. Joseph was brought before the most powerful man in the world. He told Pharaoh his dreams meant 7 years of incredible abundance would be followed by 7 years of devastating famine. He didn't just interpret the dream, he laid out a brilliant plan to save the entire nation. Pharaoh was so impressed he declared, "Can we find anyone like this man, one in whom is the Spirit of God?" In a single day, Joseph went from prisoner to prime minister of Egypt, second only to Pharaoh. He was 30 years old. He spent the next 7 years stockpiling grain, and when the famine hit, Egypt had enough food for everyone, and for the starving nations around them. And who do you think showed up in Egypt desperate for food? His 10 older brothers. They bowed down before him, this powerful Egyptian ruler, with no idea it was the brother they had sold into slavery decades ago. This was his moment for revenge. He had the power to destroy them. But instead, after testing them to see if they had changed, he revealed himself, weeping. "I am your brother Joseph," he told them. "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done."